Let me welcome all of you to this satsang. It is a great pleasure for me to be in satsang with Pandit Ramdi and Pandit Krishan and the whole group of satsangis in Railway Road Dharam Sabha. As our previous speaker said, it is indeed, as Vishala said, a historical event for all of us here in Trinidad and Tobago. This is the first time that Bhagavad Gita is being done from beginning to end in one yajna, in 108 temples, across Trinidad and Tobago and Shakari. It is historical, isn't it? I think it is. And I'm glad that Railway Road Dharam Sabha Pandit and all the devotees here have seen it fit to have us in the temple here and in the satsang bhavan to add one bead to that mala. It is wonderful. Every night before we start Bhagavad Gita, we are seeing also one additional name of Puja Gurudev, Swami Chinmaya. And many people see, the nature of the world is, let me just say this in the beginning. Nature of the world is, whatever we do, some people will like it, and some people will not like it. The world is like that. Some people didn't like Ram also. So who are us, Some people will like what we do, and some people will not like. So those who like, those who don't like, don't like. That is we accept that. That is the nature of the world. So some people will make comment like, well, this is your guru, Why are you imposing on us his name and all? I'm saying that when I'm telling about his name, 108 name, one name every night, right? One additional name every night. If you don't like my guru, that time you close your eyes. I'm not imposing it, I'm just telling his name, right? It is okay if you don't like, I have to like my guru, you don't have to like my guru, isn't it? You like your own guru, I am not imposing anything on anybody, So, I'm just telling one more name, if you don't like that name. But the name also is very instructive. So you might gain something if you listen. Yeah? We'll chant a few of these names that were there on previous night. And we'll add one more today. See. Om Omkar Vide Namaha.
Om Omkar Vide Namaha.
Om Karuna Sagaraya Namaha.
Om Karuna Sagaraya Namaha.
Om Karma Parayanaya Namaha.
Om Karma Parayanaya Namaha.
Om Kalatitaya Namaha.
Om Kalatitaya Namaha.
Om Kaivalya Swarupaya Namaha.
Om Kaivalya Swarupaya Namaha.
Om Kritatmane Namaha.
Om Kritatmane Namaha.
Om Kritatmane Namaha.
Om Kritatmane Namaha.
Kritatmana. This is his one additional name which we have added today. So I told when you have to do salutations, like for example, when you have to do salutations to Ram in Sanskrit, you can't say Rama Namaha. This is a wrong Sanskrit. That will be like saying in English, what will be the equivalent? I do salutations to Rama. Right? In English, that will be the proper thing. So if in English we say, I do salutations Rama, No, that sentence doesn't sound. I do salutations Rama. I do salutations Ganesh. In English, you have to add the two there, na? Then only it sounds proper. I do salutations to Ganesh. In the very same way, in Sanskrit, you cannot say Rama Namaha. That Rama name has to be put in what we call the fourth case or the dative case. It is called as Om Shri Ramaya Namaha. That yeah, for the masculine forms, some of the masculine forms. If it is Guru, Om Shri Gurave. A, that A comes. Gurave. You can say Guru Namaha. Om Shri Gurave Namaha. Like that. So the rule now is, if his name is Kritatmana, is it Kritatmane Namaha. Kritatmane Namaha. What is the meaning? It means he who is self-made. Self-made means what? It means that person who has put a lot of effort, not self-taught. That's a different thing. Even Gurudev had a guru. In this tradition, we don't have anything like self-taught. Anybody who's self-taught is a confused man. You run away from him. You don't want self-taught. You have to belong to some. You see, Baba in the beginning itself, Pandit Ramdev in the beginning itself did salutations to his gurus who are sitting in back. Some guru has to be there. Self-made people, self-taught people are the most confused. You have to belong to some sampradaya. So, Kritatmane, one who is self-made. Now, this is a technical thing, has to be understood properly in Sanskrit. Kritakritya means whatever had to be done in that life, he did it. It means there is nothing else to be done. So he has made himself into that great soul by long years of, lifetimes of great self-effort. Udyamena in Sanskrit. One who has applied himself to the grindstone and has become sharp over many, many years. And he is able to intuit that reality and merge with that reality. That person they call as self-made. Following the guidance and teachings of the Shastras through the Guru, of course, that has to be there. But what is required? See, you could take the horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So the teacher could go on teaching. The teacher could go on teaching, but that student is not ready to make himself. All that teaching of the teacher will fall on flat ears, Deaf ears, not flat. No? Sorry. Deaf ears. I love the English language for that. Fall on deaf ears. That means to say the ear is not really deaf, but it deaf that time. And the English language is so wonderful. Have you ever heard in English? The feet smell and the nose run. It's supposed to be a nose smell and your feet run, nah? But it's a nice language. Anyway, so that guru could go on teaching. On and on. If that person is not ready to make himself, so it's only we can make and break our own self. So the one who is really made himself, and he has done what has to be done by a human being. Bade bhagya manusha tan pawa sur durlabh sab grantan hi gawa. Sadhana dham moksha kar dwara. He said this human birth is actually a doorway to moksha. So the one who has done what has to be done in this lifetime, and he has made himself, he's called as Kritatmana. That is the meaning of the name. Now see what a nice inspiration we could get just from that name. And if somebody says, I don't like to listen to this thing, well, what to say? So Kritatmane Namaha is called by all his disciples and all, because this great guru, one who came and taught humanity, was self-made. It means he exerted and put that great effort that was required for self-realization. The greatest example in Shastra is Vishwamitra. You have to see that long and elaborate telling tale of Vishwamitra and Vasishtha Muni. These two of them. And Vasishtha, you see, I tell you a wonderful thing. You just see that. Suppose one person is born in the midst of riches. His father is rich, his uncle rich, his mother rich, brother rich, everybody rich, and he born there. Right? And he inherit a lot of wealth from them. And all of them died and he's there now and he's rich. And there's another person in the neighboring town. He was born in abject poverty. And he worked and toiled and built himself and became a multimillionaire. Between the two fellows, who more praiseworthy? He's already multimillionaire now. But who is more praiseworthy? That one inherited wealth. Nothing to his credit, isn't it? This fellow, he worked and toiled. He actually knows what real work is. You know. That's why I keep telling parents also, especially Indian parents. I don't know what kind of sharp we have. But Indian parents go on working and working and working and saving for their children. So what them children go do? Nothing. Only spend. They will never appreciate the value of anything, first. Second, they will never know what is hard work. Third, hard work is what builds the mettle of a person. That mettle of that human being will always be weak. If that hard work is not done, that person will always be a weak human being. They will always bend to all sorts of pressures and all sorts of things in life. Real strength and tenacity comes by hard work. Why deny the children the opportunity to work hard? You go on building. You work hard and you became the man or the woman that you are, but you don't want Munna to work. Oh, my Munna. Oh. God, Munna, I did all that. I don't want you to suffer like that. You take, eat, drink, buy, shop. What do you think I'm working for? You work, you eat. What you do over a long period of time is you weaken the fabric of society because you're creating a whole nation of weaklings when we do that. It is bad habit, and we have that more than everybody else. The whole animal kingdom, no creature follows it, only, and among human beings also, only Indian people. Yeah. No, I'm telling you the truth. That is why everybody was able to walk into India, give them a few slaps. So you sit down there and take over the whole. Take over the whole country because you produce a whole nation of weak people. Weaklings. From thousands of years of ashes, one Swami Vivekananda arose to try to wake up the nation to strength. One. So no, Kritatmane Namaha means one who makes himself into a strong, powerful human being, one to reckon with. Not just you pass through and you Rahana Nama Nishan Bandi. No name, no sign, nobody know that he passed through self. Kritatmane. What actually, I tell every night when I start talking about Gurudev's name, I tell Baba sitting in front there, if I continue that name, the whole satsang will go right there. All right. So we leave the name there. We are seeing now the second chapter. If you're joining us tonight for the first time in this yajna, we're seeing chapter 2, and we are coming right to the end of the chapter now. So what has been going on in Bhagavad Gita so far? Arjuna found himself incapable of performing his duty on the battlefield because for the first time, and it's not about fighting, he became incapacitated. He could not perform his duty as a soldier. For the first time, he was faced with a battle where he had to now fight and kill his own people. Arjuna had fought and killed many people before. But he never had a problem with that. So the problem arose only when the people who were standing on the other side had to be his own, happened to be his own people. So, that is what babies do. Just do any work. Yeah. All right. So, when we look deep into the heart of Arjuna and we analyze what is really going on in Bhagavad Gita is a person becomes incapacitated by his selfishness. This is at the very ordinary level, ordinary explanation. A person becomes incapacitated and ineffectual and miserable and all of these things, all because of his selfishness. That is the problem which is identified in Arjuna's heart. Now in Sanskrit that is given big names and big words and all that, called mamatvam, ahamtva and all that kind of thing, right? Which Bhagavan will touch on immediately just now in the next two verses. So, when we look at that basic selfishness which human beings have, which cause all their sorrow, that can only be removed by absolute knowledge. Atma Jnana it is called. And Bhagavan immediately in his teachings, in the beginning of the second chapter where he starts talking, he doesn't talk in first chapter and all, immediately he starts giving Atma Jnana, knowledge of the self. That is the only solution. There are temporary solutions, quick fixes for everything in life. But that is the nature of quick fix. Quick fix is what? I mean, it'll work for a few days, and then you get rid of chikungunya and dengue, and then it works for a few days again, and then after the virus mutates a little bit, and then Zika come, right? So this is how, and when you get some rid of Zika, then the virus will again mutate and this goes on eternally. And you don't think you could outdo the virus, eh? Because there are trillions and trillions of them and there are only a few of we. We can't outdo the virus. Now they're saying all the virus that we thought we got rid of from the past, now they're saying all of them are coming back one by one, mutating and coming back. So we could get rid of them temporarily. Quick fix. And like that in Sansar, we always look for quick fix for everything. You see? But the teaching of Bhagavad Gita is this. Every quick fix, every solution which we find for the problems of human existence, those solutions will only be temporary. The problems will come back in a different form. Sorrow, misery, anguish, pain, disappointment, and all these things, they will come back in different forms. There is only one solution for this quandary of human existence. And that thing is called as moksha. That's why Shastras talk about moksha, nirvana, mukti, salvation, liberation, enlightenment, all these Buddhahood. Shastras talk about this because that is the ultimate solution, the one and only solution that will not make the problem repeat itself. So now you have a choice. Our choice is, I stay in the sansar and subject myself to repeated sorrow, misery, pain and all that. Cycles of pain and misery. Stay as a samsari. And that for everybody, every Tom, Dick and Harry. Nobody will be exempted. Raja Rank Fakir. And Kabir is very wise to put Fakir there also. Raja Rank means king of pauper, beggar, and Fakir means even Sadhu Babaji, Mahatma. He gained cancer and everything down the road too. He also not spared. So, once we live in the sansar, that is the rule. You can't escape it. Every atom must have positive and negative. So the other prospect now will come out from the sansar. That is called moksha. That is what is being presented in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishad, the text of moksha. liberation, enlightenment. All our scriptures are meant for moksha. That's why Tulsidaji, I quoted in that verse just now, telling, sadhana dham moksha karadwara. It's a doorway to moksha. The other prospect, the other possibility is left for us. What? We can decide to stay in the samsara. But if you stay, look here. You can't come in the satsang here and say, man, that's Swami only talking. But then why you come satsang? If you come in the satsang, you have to subject yourself to what is going on in the satsang. Otherwise, the other option is to go. In the very same way, once you are living in this world, you will be subjected to the vagaries of samsara, and you will get misery and pain. You will face all the pairs of opposite. Joy and sorrow, gain and loss. All of it. The two possibilities, and Gita allows anyone you want. Gita is free. In the end, Bhagavan tells Arjuna, wait on the 18th chapter, Yatha ichasi tatha kuru. As is your wish, you do. It is the only free text in the world. It teaches freedom, and so it cannot bind you to anything. If it teaches freedom, how it can bind you to anything? It can't. It says, if you want moksha, pursue this path. If you want to stay in samsara, you pursue this path. Bas. In fact, if you want to stay in samsara, you have to pursue nothing. You're done pursuing it already. So this is what is going on here. And at the end of this second chapter now, Arjuna asks, Prabhu, you're talking about this enlightened being, this Mukta Purusha, this person who is realized, this elevated soul, this Mahatma. You're talking. Please tell me his traits and characteristics, his qualities, lakshanas, gunas. I want to know. So this is what is going on. The chapter will come to an end now with this. Last night when we left it, we saw 269. Now today we have to see from 270. See this. Apuryamānam acala pratishtham.
Apuryamānam acala pratishtham.
Samudramāpa pravishanti yadvat.
Samudramāpa pravishanti yadvat.
Tadvat kāmāyam na yavishanti sarve.
Tadvat kāmāyam pravishanti sarve.
Tadvat kāmāyam pravishanti sarve.
Tadvat kāmāyam pravishanti sarve.
Sashanti māpnoti na कामकामी
सशान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी
सशान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी
सशान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी.
He says, Yadvat, just like what? Apaha means waters. Just like waters, samudram, in the ocean, pravishanti, enter. Means all the rivers are, how many rivers are there? So many countless rivers, and some of them Vapri. If you see Ganga in spate, in the rainy season, if you see that Ganga, it is scary. You look like that and it really is scary. It's something to see in rainy season. You have to see that thing to know what I'm talking about. It is scary. The volume of, it's unimaginable to see such a volume of water flowing. We are used to seeing a small amount of water. And then in Guyana here, for instance, there are big rivers and all. But they're not flowing. It all look like it's just like that only. But you have to see Ganga flowing. Bapre. So all of the rivers, how many rivers on this earth, all of them flowing toward this ocean. And Apuryamanam Achala Pratishtham. This ocean receives all of these waters, and that ocean, they like normal. Never changing. You never see the ocean, God, by rainy season, plenty water coming. I better brace myself. That ocean never says, He is calm and cool and everything, and all the waters come and he is the same. It never change. The ocean never get overfilled. That's an amazing thing, isn't it? How do the ocean never get overfilled with all of this water flowing into the ocean every day? We don't imagine, because in Trinidad, the biggest river is Caroni River. I went to Guyana, a man teasing me. He said, look, this Swami, he from Trinidad. He's telling them Guyanese people. This is Swami from Trinidad. In Trinidad, them biggest river is Caroni River. He said, man, if dog chase you, jump over that. He mocked me. Because you know the kind of how big rivers they have in Guyana, right? So, them drain bigger, yeah. So anyway, this, we can't imagine the volume of water going into the ocean every day because we don't see it here. But if you go to some of them countries with big rivers, then you see all this water going in the ocean. How come that ocean never get filled? So here, the two words that Bhagavan uses are those two words which are used to describe the enlightened soul. He's called as Achalam Pratishtham. Achalam Pratishtham is, the ocean is being used to describe him. The ocean is Achalam, means it doesn't change or it doesn't get modified in spite of all of these waters going in. And Pratishtham, settled. That ocean is, and he's not scared. More water is settled. Pratishtham means established, settled at one, you know, just peacefully resting there. Nothing is going to disturb me. Let how much, whatever water comes. He's using the ocean to describe this Mahatma. How? Now see in the next line. Tadat kavayam pravishanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kama kami. That Mahatma, he is there, and all the sense objects of the world, they send their data through his senses to his mind. And in spite of all the sense objects sending the data through the senses to his mind remains safe. Achalam Pratishtham. Those are the two words. Unmoved. Achalam. Pratishtham. Settled. His mind is not disturbed. Otherwise, see, people have the idea that, you know, Mahatmas, saints, sages, they are not supposed to indulge in worldly things, right? People, all this is a wrong presentation. It means, so what, he go close the eye and walk in the road or what? And once you live in this country, especially Trinidad, some things what you want to hear also it as here. I mean, so what, I can't close my eyes and walk down the road now? You close your eyes and walk? Put earplugs. No. What you have to do is to try to develop this state. Let all these things come in the air. People will be talking this, they'll say that. This type of music we will be playing. If you don't believe me, listen Monday and Tuesday, you go here. Or this type of music, that type of thing, all them things will be going on, right? So you hear, but remain achalam. Achalam means unmoved. Remain achalam. Unmoved. Pratishtham. Settled. Mahatma is being described like this. He says, Sa shantim apnoti. That person will achieve the state of shanti. Peace. Na kama kami. Not the person who, see how we live. See, kama kami is describing all of us now. How we live. Not only are we not settled when we are hearing things of the world, we're waiting to hear that. We're waiting to hear something there. We're waiting to see something there. And means the eyes craving, the ears craving, and the tongue craving, especially when you go down the end of the highway. The tongue waiting and traffic and all, and at the end of the highway, oh, what do you think you're moving, man? The tongue craving to read Devi. See? No, he is unmoved by any of the sensory things around. That person will reach the state of shanti. Kama kami is all the beings. Kama kami means he is all the time desiring. There's a nice kahavat I was telling recently. It says, Kam kama moti. Kam kama moti means Don't go on desiring all worldly things. Kama moti. Don't go on, really moti means all jewels and, expensive things. Jewels and all. Moti. Pearls. Kama moti. Don't go on desiring pearls. Kafan mein jeb nahi hoti. Kafan is, here we don't see. Here when people die, they dress them up nice and things. In Trinidad. In India, when a person dies, they don't dress them up. They just wrap them in a cotton. Here we just go and spend real money and things and buy nice clothes and things for he. Because that is the man's final journey, And nowadays they carry a limousine, hearse and thing. Trinidad is an interesting place, I tell you, the most wonderful. One fellow going to buy a coffin and telling the undertaker in the funeral home, don't bury me in this cheap coffin here, Bury me in this expensive one. The undertaker say, yes, sir. If you will be more comfortable in this one, we'll bury you in this one. No problem. See, this is very, very interesting. But in India, they just wrap them in a cotton. That cotton is called a kafan. Kafan is Urdu word actually. Urdu. So the Kahawat says, kafan mein jeb nahi hoti. In that cotton it has no pocket. In that kafan there is no pocket. Your whole life you run after jewels and gems and gold and diamond and silver and everything. But a pocket to carry in that kafan or what? That is the Kahawat in Hindi. So, here it says, we are all kami. Whole life only running after this, running. So many things you're running after. And in the end, there are, when he died, how much he left, boy? The answer is all. Kami. Oh, this is a nice phrase, actually. Bhagavan Shri Krishna actually chooses such nice words and all that. We are all kami, only running after all worldly things. That's how we get ourselves entangled. Now see, he's bringing this chapter to a close, and then he's telling now what we have to get rid of. And this is a clear indication of the malady of Arjuna, and by extension the malady of all of humanity. See this. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. This is a very famous verse. Vihaya kamani sarvan pumam charati nisprihaha. That person who is able to remove all his worldly cravings and desires and lust and all such things for things in this world, vihaya kamani sarvan pumam sharati, nispreha, and walk the world free like a bird, not craving and longing. There's a wonderful bhajan, you know. We'll sing 2 lines of that. You all have heard this bhajan 1,000 times, but this is what it means. जो तू मिटाना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा, जो तू मिटाना चाहे जीवन की तृष्णा, सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा, सुबह शाम बोल बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा। I remember I told you what is going on in Bhagavad Gita is a choice which all of us have to make in our life. Either we choose the spiritual path or we choose the worldly path. We can't have a foot here and a foot there. You can't be looking towards the sun and away from the sun at the same time. The line said, those who want to remove this Trishna from their life, morning, noon and night, we chant the name of Krishna. Trishna means Trishna. The first line is Trishna. Please pay attention to that. Jo tu mitana chahe जीवन की Trishna. Say that word? Trishna. Yes. And the second line is Krishna. I have heard people on stage, on television saying Krishna for both of them. No, ulta meaning comes, reverse meaning comes. Who wants to remove this Trishna, craving, longing, all? See Kaman here. Vihaya Kaman is Sarvan Kaman Vihaya, having dropped all desires and craving and worldly. Now this is truly true spiritual life. I don't want anything worldly, I want Bhagwan only. But see what religion has done to us. We use Bhagwan to get rid of worldly thing. So we go, Prabhu, oh God man, you make me suffer too bad. How much lifetime I'm suffering? Today I'm going to make a special offering of Bhagwan. Special offering I'll make today. And please let me win the lottery, at least the second prize self, you know. We go and making a deal with the Lord there and this and that. So Bhagwan is shopkeeper or what? You give so much and get? So that's why he don't listen to nobody prayers. That's the best thing. Everybody thinks Bhagwan will listen to prayers. If Bhagwan is to listen to prayers, see, one mullah, you know, he going with a bunch of children to the house of God. So a Mahatma standing on the side of the road. He said, Mullah, where are you going? He said, I'm going with these children to the house of God. To do what? To pray. Why? Well, you see, we have a drought and famine. And them children, innocent, them innocent heart, you know, are carrying them to pray. They'll pray to God. When they pray to God, God will send rain. So he said, well, why you didn't pray? He said, no, the children, their heart innocent, you know. So Bhagwan go listen to the prayers of innocent heart. So I'm carrying them. Mahatma said, if Bhagwan is to listen to the prayers of innocent heart, all them teachers in the school, including you, would have been dead already. Religion has put so much of misunderstanding in the hearts and the minds of people. Is an amazing thing. You see, but them children they be saying every day in school. All you know, me I have to tell you, see, everybody know what I'm talking about. If Bhagwan to listen to them children, then so, and I keep telling, a person who praying to Mother Saraswati every day, praying morning, noon and night, and a person who's studying morning, noon and night, who will pass exam? The one who's studying, let me tell you, the one who praying every day, he guaranteed to fail. Yes. Don't joke with this thing, this kind of thing. Prayers don't pass exam. Is studies with us? Pass exam. Eh? One man pray, oh Mother Lakshmi, give me wealth now. Give me wealth. Oh Mother Lakshmi, give me wealth. He go pray from now till he dead. And the next man, he never prayed at 80s too. And he working hard every day. Who will get wealth? Don't make joke with all of this thing and let religion just carry away your there's a nice Arabic statement which says, what is that? In English translation, I can't say it in Arabic, I know. It's an Arabian kahawat. What it says? Have trust in God, but first tie your camel. Yeah. No, I'll leave my camel open day. Bhagwan go take care. Me have to tie no camel and what you have God for? Foolishness. Huh? You have to tie your camel. What? So, when you want to pass exam or you want to get rich, work hard. You don't need God for that. God is not a shopkeeper. So, this person who has no worldly desires, he only wants God. He doesn't want God as an accessory to any worldly thing, because Bhagavan has already given us all the things we need to get all the things that we need in the world. We have body, mind, intellect, we have hand and capability and everything to get whatever we need in this world already. The Lord doesn't have to interfere with that. That's why He doesn't interfere also. Yeah? We need to pursue God solely, not as an accessory to anything else in this world. That is what spirituality is about. So, vihaya kama nisarvan puvam charati nispreha, not craving and longing for anything in this world. If you have to long for anything, long for Bhagavan only. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to cry and roll on the ground, longing for the Lord. And then, I told you, the universal malady of all human beings, Bhagavan is telling, Nirmamo nirahankara sa shanti madhikachati. Who reaches that state of absolute shanti, peace, enlightenment? Who reaches nirmamo nirahankara, the one who has given up this feeling of me and mine. And this phrase, please pay attention to that. Nirmamo nirahankara. This phrase will come again and again and again in this Bhagavad Gita, because this is the root of self-interest. So Arjuna was saying, these are my people. See the word, eh? My people. And I have to kill them. So, mine and me. These two things. Again and again it will come. That selfishness is born from delusion. That delusion is born from ignorance. That ignorance can only be removed by knowledge. So, how it goes again? Selfishness is born from delusion. Delusion is born from ignorance. And the only antidote to ignorance is knowledge. That is why Bhagavan started giving knowledge in this second chapter. Right off the bat. Ashocyanam Vashochyastam Prajna Vadan Shivas. He doesn't beat down Bhagavan doesn't mince matters, eh? No mincing matters. There is no short-term solution. This is the ultimate, absolute solution. Knowledge to remove ignorance, which is the cause for the entire gamut of problems of human beings. And so he gives that knowledge immediately. Now, not everybody will be ready for that knowledge. Not all sadhaks will be ready for that knowledge. The sadhak has to prepare his mind. You know, you can't just go and take seeds and plant them in the back of your house that is covered with bush and shrubs and what do you call it? Hard soil, hard like concrete. What will go grow there? Nothing. You have to go remove those bushes, all shrubs, this, that, weeds. Remove them. Plow this land. Put manure, this, that. Prepare that whole soil. Then only you put that seed. In the very same way, this knowledge which Bhagavan has given will appeal to some people in the world, but not to everybody. So the rest of Gita now, from this third chapter, which you're going to see it soon, the rest of that is preparing the mind, making the mind conducive for the acquisition of this knowledge and for the knowledge taking root and all that kind of thing. So it's a tremendous amount of sadhana which will be given. Here the seedlings of spirituality are planted in the first and the second chapter. Bhagavan starts talking in the second chapter only. So the seedlings of spirituality is planted there. Now he's going to go back up and go slowly now. And again in 13th chapter, the topic of knowledge again will be picked up in a very strong way. Way in 13th chapter. All the other chapters are thinking, reflecting, practicing, removing all impurities from the mind, preparing the ground and all that. All the way till chapter 13. This is what is happening. The seedlings are planted here and it gives very clear indication. What has to be removed? This selfishness, which is me and mine, which is caused by moha, delusion, which is caused by ignorance. So really, if you remove that ignorance, but you see, that ignorance is like Ravan. You all know. When Rama went to Lanka, what happened there? Rama cannot go immediately and remove Ravan. Ravan way in the back. You have all these infantry and foot soldiers, and then you have all the people on horses, and then on chariots, then on elephants, and so many. So all of them are in front. Kumbhakaran and all, Meghanad, and so many big warriors in front. So Ravan is the last person. So you have to remove all these foot soldiers and infantry and all that kind of cavalry, then all charioteers, then remove all these elephants, then remove the Kumbhakaran, remove the Meghanad. See, then when the last only you get to remove Ravan. And here's where the millions are. Ravan is only one. This ignorance is only one. So here in front, what do you have? Kam, Krodh, Mother, Lobh, Matsara, Ityadi, all these Durguna, bad quality, evil qualities, what do you call? Negative traits, all in front. So now, this Bhagavad Gita is going to be talking about all of them. Removing, preparing the ground. In the end, we'll come face to face with this ignorance, which will be eventually removed. That is Ravan. The Ramayana, while at the same time is historical, is very symbolic also. Huh? Very, very symbolic. So what is being taught there is being taught here only. Same. So vihaya kamanya sarvan puans charati nispriha nirmamo nirahankara sashantim adhigacchati. Who will be able to remove this ignorance, will be able to remove this delusion and all this selfishness and all of these durgunas which come. Desire, anger, greed, jealousy, pride, all these things which come down. Negative traits. But I said, you can't go there and tackle Ravan head on, you know. In our life daily, we have to go on removing anger, jealousy, pride, untruth, and so many things at this level, in our daily lives. You have to go on removing all of these things. Slowly, slowly when we remove, we'll get closer and closer. Then you have to face Ravan. Everybody has to face Ravan one day. All prepare. You can't just go and burn him in the Ramlila ground. No. It is so easy. You just go there and you shoot one arrow and you burn him down. No. Yeah? So, prepare slowly. That's right now from 3rd chapter 3 all the way to 13. You see, all that is preparation for this knowledge again. That knowledge will remove that ignorance. So, when that ignorance is removed, then no such thing as selfishness that can ever take over that person. Arjuna followed, and that selfishness went away. And in the end, what he said, Karishye vachanam tava, nashto moha smritir labdha. All my delusion, moha, see, moha word comes in. My delusion has gone away, and I'll do exactly as you say, Bhagwan. He picked up that bow and arrow, and in spite of having lesser number on that battlefield, Arjuna routed his Kaurava army and removed adharma once and for all. He followed Bhagwan's directives. This is a very important thing. Esha brahmistiti partha na enam prapya vimuhyati. The person having removed this delusion and ignorance once and for all, na enam prapya vimuhyati. That person never goes back to that state of delusion again. The one who has reached this state of Brahmanhood, enlightenment, moksha, mukti, liberation, whatever you call it, nainam prapya vimuhyati, never goes back to the state of ignorance. The permanent solution I was telling you about. We're not looking at any temporary quick fix, which human beings like. That's why everybody like everything from China. Cheap thing. Disposable. Use it and Throw it. Now they're making all cars, everything like that. The car designed to give you 100,000 kilometers, 100,000 miles. After that, throw it and get next one. Amazing. People have developed this habit. Sthitvasyamantakaalepi Brahman Nirvana Mrichati. Bhagwan Shankaracharya gives us interesting. See, in this yajna, because we have to finish the 700 verses in these 108 days, right? I cannot do this. I would have loved to do this whole thing with Shankara Bhashya. Bhagwan's Bhashya on this last verse is so good. He says, if a person is able in the last breath, Sitvasya Antakalepi. Antakal means in the last moments of your life. Even the last moment of our life, if we are able to practice this thing, he didn't practice his whole life, eh? In the last moment, if we are able to practice this, what? Total selflessness. I give up all desires for things and I become totally selfless. Give up all selfishness. He said that person also Brahman Nirvana Mrichati. He reaches Brahman, the absolute state. What to talk about Bhagavan Shankaracharya Bhashya, not here. Then what to talk of a person who practicing the whole life? Bhagavan is saying here in Gita, even if we do it in the last moment of our life, we will reach Brahman. Bhagavan Shankaracharya said, what to talk about a person who do it the whole life? That's a nice word he puts there also. So, he reaches that state of nirvana. See, the nirvana word comes here. Many people say that Bhagavad Gita, you see, these Western writers, British people and all, Europeans and all went into India and they say that this Bhagavad Gita was a late addition and all that kind of thing. Buddhism uses this word nirvana. Buddhism uses the word nirvana. The word nirvana comes from Gita. It is so old. Buddhism didn't invent the word nirvana. There's one rock band in America called Nirvana. Have you noticed that? Nobody got nirvana in that band. Eh? Nirvana means moksha, mukti, same thing. Eh? Literally means blown out. Blown out. Om Tat Sariti Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastra Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Sankhya Yoga Nama. This is called as Sankhya Yoga. This second chapter is called as Sankhya Yoga, means the yoga of knowledge. Here what is being presented, you see, all I have been telling you in the last few days is understanding. If we understand properly, it is like, if you sit at home, we have a perfect example here. Every night we go into some different temple in this country, right? If before you leave, you sit and you please look at the direction. Yeah? You wouldn't get lost. Every night somebody getting lost. One man got in our wedding. And they think me I know. Hey, look here, if every night you sit down properly, look at the directions, we have to go here, we have to turn there. The directions are given on social media every night. Yeah. Crystal and all do such a fantastic job giving every night. So look. Then, so second chapter is given all the directives. Now the rest of the chapter you got follow through. So this directive is given in this form of knowledge. That's what I call a Sankhya Yoga. It's something that you first have to know. Only when you know, then you could follow. But if you don't know what you'll follow, you're going and listening for a mic. There's some kind of a long time chutney, one man sing like that. You never hear that? He said, one night I went in an Indian singing. Korea where my mouse is living. But I don't know the place. You hear that? You listen for a mic. No. You sit down properly, study the words. It is given in the form of knowledge. When you have understood properly, then only now you can start following that. This is what second chapter is. That's why it's called Sankhya Yoga. is the yoga of knowledge. First you have to know, you have to understand. And the teacher teaches in the class, in that chemistry class, he teaches the experiment first. You have to know, you can't go there and start mixing chemicals without knowing anything. You go blow up the lab. You have to know first. Alright. So the second chapter is that. Now, Arjuna has a question. Because Bhagavan said something, and when we had reached that verse in second chapter, Bhagavan made a commentary to this verse number 49 of the second chapter. That verse created some confusion in Arjuna's mind. Because Bhagavan said there that karma is avaram. Karma is avaram means base, low. And my dear Arjuna, you take recourse to knowledge. Because karma is tucha, no? Base thing. Take recourse to knowledge. So now in the third chapter, Arjuna, one good thing, he forgetting it. Sometimes he forget to do also, but I was telling Arjuna is a typical human being. The bad thing he don't forget. Good thing he, anything about Bhagavan teach good, he forget that. Anything about Bhagavan make a mistake, he forget that. One man telling a psychiatrist, but doctor, man, anytime me and my wife call, my wife they get historical. The doctor say you mean hysterical? He say no doctor, historical. She'll bring up all the past things. That means all this she have forgotten. That is Arjuna. Bhagavan just make one statement there that could be interpreted otherwise. Arjuna forgot every other thing, but you remember? That one. What is that statement? That we'll see tomorrow.